Last week, I introduced you to my top 10 themes for 2013. And tonight, I want to tell you about a red-hot bull market that's getting a major boost from one of these themes. I'm talking about the incredible rally in the temporary staffing companies, companies that provide temps to other businesses, and how it's being fueled in part by the pending implementation of Obamacare next year, which is one of the themes I told you about last week, the government made me do it theme. The staffing companies are en fuego right now, and I think they're going to stay that way for the rest of the year. The reasons? Some of it has to do with the anticipation of the Affordable Care Act, which I'll talk about in a moment. But a huge part of the strength here is simply because the staffing plays are ultra-sensitive to changes in the labor market. You see, temporary employment is more cyclical than regular employment. Temps are the first to get fired in a downturn, and they're first to be hired when the economy comes back. And coming back is exactly what this economy is doing right now. Just today, we saw that jobless claims dropped to their lowest level in 5 years.
House of pleasure.
Plus, while full-time employment was only up about 1.4% in 2012, the total number of temporary employees increased by 6.2%. And that rapid growth in temps is expected to continue in 2013, as the Street is looking for 5% growth in temporary employment this year. However, I think that number could ultimately end up being conservative, thanks to the Affordable Care Act, a.k.a. Obamacare. Once that law goes into effect in 2014, companies that employ more than 50 full-time workers will either need to provide their employees with expensive health care coverage or pay a $2,000 to $3,000 penalty. That's why businesses of all sizes are now searching for ways to cope with this law. And the easiest way to avoid paying these expenses is to hire more temps. See, to qualify for health care coverage under the Affordable Care Act, an employee has to work for 12 months. Since most temp assignments are just 3 to 4 months long, the temp agencies, they're unlikely to get hit with the full brunt of the law. And now, more importantly, if you're a small business, you're going to try to have fewer than 50 full-time employees so that you won't be subject to Obamacare. And that means relying on more temps to get your work done so you don't go up to over 50 full-timers. But small businesses aren't alone in not wanting to cover these health care costs. If you're a larger business, you're going to be much more likely to hire temporary workers rather than full-time employees in order to avoid paying more for health insurance. And even though Obamacare only kicks in starting in 2014, did you know the companies need to start making these adjustments now? Because the law has what's known as a 12-month look-back or measurement period for the purposes of figuring out how much each company will be on the hook for. That means 2013 is going to be a great year for the temporary staffing business. The question is, how do you play it?